cities built for the living, and then there are cities built for the dead. Streets, façades, doorways, rooms, beds carved straight from the rock, ceilings cut to mimic wooden beams, grave good arranged to recreate, detail by detail, the homes the dead once inhabited. Some cities reveal themselves through what they built for the living. Caere reveals itself through what it built for the dead. The ancient city of Caere, known to the Romans as Caere and today as Cerveteri, was one of the great commercial powers of the central Mediterranean between the 8th and 4th centuries BC. Built upon a naturally defended plateau of volcanic tuff, protected by streams and connected directly to the ports of Pizzi, Alsium and Punicum, it occupied a strategic crossroad linking the Greek world, the Phoenicians and the Etruscan interior. That evolution shows up in the tombs themselves. The earliest graves, pits and shafts from the early Iron Age tied to the Villanovian cremation rites were simple, bare, functional. Then the aristocratic clans decided memory needed monuments. Tumuli rose among the main roads, massive earth mounds over chambers cut into the tough bedrock. Monuments to lineage, visible from afar and impossible to ignore. The ditch that circled each tumulus was a decoration. It tied the monument to its landscape, evidence that Caere's funerary landscape had been conceived as a single coherent whole from the very beginning. The Monte Tosto tumulus, 60 meters across, and the Campana tumulus stand as the boldest statements of that ambition to be remembered forever. The peak came in the 7th century BC, with the chamber tombs, exact replicas of Etruscan domestic architecture. The tomb of the Greek vases says it best, a house for the dead, built with the same ambition as a house for the living. Step inside one of these tombs and the grave could tell their own story. These were not simply offerings, they were records. Records of trade, records of status, records of how a family wished to be seen. Bucheronero pottery, a technique Cerveteri mastered, became the material signature of Etruscan identity. Greek impulse, Proto-Corinthian, Euboean, work as a visual language for the elite. One old peak recovered at Monte Abatone shows an old man singing, playing a barbitos, a string instrument tied to the world of Dionysus, a direct line to the Western Greek Mediterranean, carved into clay. The peak of that wealth is the Regolini Galassi tomb, discovered in 1836 in the Sorbo necropolis, dated to roughly 650 BC. Large gold fibulae, cariots, silver, ivory, bronze work with astonishing precision, but wealth wasn't distributed equally, even among the dead. The Monte Tosto tumulus adds another layer, a status within the clan itself. 3 chambers, one central, 2 lateral, opening onto a long dromos. The man is marked by bronze shields and dragon-shaped fibulae. The woman by ivory plectra sheathed in gold, amber necklaces, silver plaques decorated with the sphinxes and lion flanking the tree of life. Markers of a female prestige every bit as visible as the male one in the Etruscan aristocracy. Nearby, a smaller pit's grave for children, the imprint of a family structure that organized power and memory across generations. Shortly after 540 BC, something shifted. The Battle of Alalia marked a turning point, not just for Caere, but for the wider Mediterranean, and the necropolis records exactly what happened next. Funerary architecture abandoned its old excess. Tombs grew austere, a new urban logic took over. Regular streets, hoop-shaped structures, laid out with a precision that speaks of centralized authority reshaping the sacred ground itself. The necropolis stopped being a showcase for competing clans. It became something closer to a democratic city of the dead. Once again, a mirror of what was happening among the living. The necropolis of Cerveteri is much more than a cemetery. It is perhaps the most complete political biography of an Etruscan city ever carved into stone. Every tumulus preserves a chapter of aristocratic history. Every grave assemblage records the reach of Mediterranean trade. Every architectural change echoes a transformation in the society above ground. For the people of Caere, the way the dead were buried reflected how the living wished to be remembered. And more than 2.5 millennia later, their city of the dead still tells us who they were. If the way a society buries its dead reveals how its people understood life itself, then you may also enjoy our video on the merry cemetery of Sapanza, the extraordinary place where people learn to laugh at death and where that tradition is still alive today.